We got one home, 660 LP. Still not quite able to make it run. Can kind of sort of make it fire. It's a problem for, well, not today. Because, well, we just got home from the auction. You can see I'm still quite dirty. I ate supper. But I need to get empty. Because Leo and I are going to jump in and go back to Aurora in the morning and pick up the other tractor, the 660 we got. And I realize that I now have a problem. I'm kind of pissed about it. I lost one of my side panels on the way home. It was tight when I left. It was. So that sucks. I'm gonna have to find one of those. Might just rob one off that other 660 diesel since it's entirely a parts tractor. But we'll get the diesel home and then mess with this guy and mess with the diesel one too. We might swap out the front hubs for some 6-bolt or 8-bolt front hubs and put some like 10, 100, or 16s on the front of this thing. Make it look mean. And I know we need to mess with the wiring because we got problems on this thing. But I'm pretty pleased with this. Just have one of the hand clutch tractors. Way cool and different and not something very many people have. I remember Dad having one when I was a little kid. And I can't remember if it was a hand clutch tractor or not. But it came in with a G705 with a dealer installed front wheel assist. So just a really weird combination of stuff that day. I'll have to ask Dad a little bit more about that one. I had the brakes partially set, the park brakes, so it didn't get away from me coming down. But we got really good Alliance 23 126s on it. And we can find some weights to bolt up to it and do something with it. And we might hopefully swap the belt pulley off the diesel one onto this or on onto my other 660 diesel, just in case that we need it at the tractor show. And honestly, like an 80-ish horse tractor for the sawmill as backup, pretty good insurance in my opinion, just in case the steam engine has problems at the show. Not that I expect the steam engine to have problems at the show, but back in the day we used to run a Massey 555 on it, and it was all that Massey 555 could do. But for now, time to go home, sleep, shower, then sleep, and then get at it again tomorrow. Back in the pickup. We are headed back to Aurora this morning. As you can see, no kid with me. I was gonna run yesterday, which was Sunday, the day after the auction, back up after that 660, but the wind absolutely howled yesterday. 35 mile an hour sustained wind, 70 mile an hour gusts. Was not a day to be on the road hauling tractors if I didn't have to. And as dry as it is, there was a lot of fire danger with that. So you didn't want to be the guy responsible for blowing a tire, causing sparks, and catching 3 counties on fire, in my opinion. So we're moving this morning. It's about 2-hour drive back up to Aurora. Again, we will get the 660 diesel pulled out of line and winched on the trailer, and then head back home. And then once we're home, I would like to see if we can get that 660 propane running first, mess with it. And then they said on the 660 diesel that it doesn't make a full revolution, the motor doesn't, so we'll look into that. Maybe can just pull injectors and dump some like ATF, holy water, and tiger semen down in the cylinders and let it soak for a little while. But that's kind of where we're at. The LP, it would fire for a minute and run and then die, and I'm not really entirely sure why, I guess. Also, not an expert at the propane life. Need to spend more time around Mike to get my propane stuff running better. But either way, we're got 2 hours here driving. It's a lovely 3 degrees to start the morning. So starting this pickup and my 6.9 diesel to feed cows this morning really wasn't that great, because I was not quite planning on the cold, especially where we had like 70 degrees on Saturday. But that's neither here nor there. We'll keep my foot in it, get to Aurora, get loaded, turn around, come back. I'll tell you what, folks, I'd say over half the tractors are still here. I mean, a lot left, but a lot didn't. Quite a few sold online, quite a few were going into collections of stuff, and I'm sure guys bought multiple. But I'm gonna throw a chain on the front of this 660. We're gonna back up, then I'm gonna come around it and back up to the back end of the tractor and get it winched on. It is not very warm out. I actually had a little bit of snow here over the weekend. You can kind of see it in the road ditch here, which is nice, but not warm out. But we're gonna get this thing spun around so I can get a hold of it with a winch and get it pulled up on the trailer and go back home, or at least get back in the pickup and get warm. I don't even know if I'll unload this thing today, but just needs to get home. Really want to dig into why this thing doesn't make a full revolution. I honestly never even pulled a dipstick on it. Looks like oil. So, I don't know. It's curious. Curious. Be really cool to have this one running and usable, though, especially with that belt pulley on it. I didn't even look in at the serial number on it, nothing. Need to look at the serial number on the 660 LP we bought too. It's got a PTO, and we know it's got a belt pulley, which never seen too many of those on 660s. Seats. Not sure that seat will make it home. Oh, that's mousy. Let's throw that in the pickup. Maybe that's the seat back, or what they were trying to use the seat back, but yeah, there's still quite a few tractors here for sure. I don't know, not my business. I'm glad I'm not the one shipping all these things out of here. That's for sure, especially with the current cost of diesel. And we back up gently. Stop and straighten out because I don't want to run over that bucket. I don't know how many times you guys have seen me winch stuff on, but we'll do it again. Go straighten my wheels out. It's cold out here. I had to throw jumper cables back to the batteries on the winch because even though those charged overnight, still too cold, which is lovely. So that means it's probably about time to spend money on new batteries, but we'll get this thing rolled up on here. Get home. That's cold. That wind is cold this morning. I checked sheet metal, grabbed everything that was loose off. There was a muffler laying on the floor pan I grabbed too. Let's stop and see how we look here. Those big old grain cart tires, quite a bit wider than the old bias plies on the other one. The other one basically almost fit between the fenders. This one, I don't think it's gonna happen, but yeah. Oh, my poor winch is cold. Could have snatch blocked it, but it's not. I mean, a 10,000 pound tractor, but it's not like it's rolling hard. Just everything's cold this morning. I'm gonna take it to the north a little bit, just a little. Definitely got some stubble wear and cracking on the edges of those, but for this tractor, those are about perfect actually. No power steering. Heavy darn thing. Pretty much one of these 660s with the 23-126 and the big cast centers, not the ones on 18-434s like this guy over here. These you can get down around 8,000 just because I don't have the big cast weights on the inside. This 660 all weight, and you cannot lose any of it. They're pretty much 10,000 pounds with the guy in the seat, no matter what you do. Gonna be a little more to the passenger side, but that's really okay for this operation here. It's hard with big rubber and going up and over those fenders. You guys know it. Probably could have put some air in those tires. They might have rolled a little easier too. Gravel walk here. I don't think it's gonna roll very far, but I've been wrong before too. Really making those things buckle. We'll just quit right there. I'll get chains on it. All right, chain down. We go home lighter than we did with the 660 LP because I don't have the weights and tires on the front here. So probably a good 14,000 pounds lighter, or not 13, 3,000 to 4,000 pounds lighter, I would say. But it's cold. It's time to get a pickup and get the hell out of here and get home. Ugh. Double trouble. 660s are home now. And now that they're home, we got some more time. There's not other people around. The wind's not howling and it's not 6 degrees anymore. Let's walk around them, look at them, talk about plans, look at potential problems, see what we can see, right? Let's just find out together. Haven't even looked up what year either of these is, to be honest. But this one's obviously propane. That one's diesel. The propane, as you can see, big rubber on the back, 23-126. Alliance tires, those aren't cheap to get. They look really good on there. Lots of tread. You know, your typical propane, big old tank on there. I don't have a muffler for it, but we can definitely source one. I could probably rob one off something salvage around here, don't you think? Yeah, I do too. Just right off the bat, and I've never noticed this on my other 660s, but it's probably how all of them are. There's like a seam welded on the bottom of that, which is what that filler plate is compared to like a 560, 460, which is quite interesting. It's really nice that on this 660 here, that propane one, that the badges are intact on both sides that say LP gas, because I bet those aren't easy to get. Missing grill screen, that won't be hard to get. We can rob it off a 460 or 560. I bet it's probably 560. 460 is probably narrower, but I don't know that. All the propane stuff here looks fairly intact overall. Nothing too scary there. I've honestly never even pulled the dipstick on this thing. It's full of oil. There you go. What more do you need to know? Little things. This doesn't match paint wise, but who really cares? I think this thing must have been missing sheet metal when they got it in, just because they've kind of had to piece it together here. And like that's actually a cut piece of sheet metal there to fit, and then welded on the back end for some reason. So not really sure what's going on there. It fits. Who really cares? What else we got on this side of the tractor? Don't see anything too much. I mean, there's some weird paint stuff going on. It's also an old enough tractor. I don't care. At least it's not, you know, a Rust-Oleum restoration or something like that. Don't believe it's full of fluid. It's not. Rims look nice. Those are expensive and hard to get if you have to replace them. On the back here, fenders. Right-hand fender's quite nice. Left-hand fender's got a dent there. That's where the light would go, and that's where the wiring would come through. So that's nothing besides factory holes there on the front. I mean, you got some dings there on that. And here, not too bad. PTO drawbar's broken off. So I had to, and welded right there on. So we're gonna have to figure something else out there. But maybe rob it off that one. Or, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might know where there's V660s to be bought for parts. Notice here, this piece of sheet metal missing that goes right ahead of the decelerator pedal and behind the brakes. That's missing PTO levers here and intact. Steering wheel's a little rough, but yeah, all the right clutch lever stuff seems to be there for the hand clutch, which is amazing overall to me. There's a hand clutch tractor, just really peculiar. Maybe it was like in the rice. No, you don't really ever know on something this age. I don't think this is the right seat and suspension. That's more W9-ish, but it works. We'll walk over here. Yeah, I mean, it's not the right one, but that's okay. At least it's got a seat on it. This is the intake pipe that goes up, and there should be an air cleaner that sits clear up high. Can't really read hours on the gauge at all. It's kind of smoky. That's fine. No fuel gauge. Needs a temp gauge. I think that might be a vacuum. Yeah, gauge there. Let you know how she's running. I don't know. Kind of weird. But overall, just not bad in this department. It's fine. It's usable. Good enough. This tire, again, excellent. Alliance. Rim looks great. We are missing one bolt here that goes into the casting, which I would suspect it to be like broken off probably. Nope, it's just not there. So we just got to put a bolt in that. So that's no big deal. Better than it could be. I expected it to be broken off. In my opinion, that would have been totally expected. Power steering tractor. I think power steering was actually an option on these. But man, it'd suck to not have it. Because these are big, heavy brutes that don't steer that nice without power steering. What else we got here? Power assist steering, I guess is what it would be. This piece of sheet metal has definitely been put on it at some point in time in its life too. It's got a price on it, which says a lot. Not sure what's going on there for wiring. We'll ignore that today. Still need to mess with getting it running better or properly. I tried there, it'd run, it'd pop and run for a second and then die. So I don't quite understand entirely what the issue is with this thing as to why it will not run. But we can look into that more as we get time. Today we're just kind of walking around looking at them. Front tires are pretty junk. We can get new 750 18s ordered, or we can maybe swap out front hubs for some 6-bolt front hubs and put some bigger front tires on it, like some 10-116s or like 11L15s spaced out. Would look pretty good on here. Not sure what's going on there with all of this, to be honest, because that, I mean, that's weird in comparison to that side. I mean, look at that guy compared to this steering arm. There's some weird stuff going on there, but we'll not to get too worried about it. I do know that it's kind of, the front end's kind of coming together there at the front, so something's out of whack on the front end in general. And I think if you look at this, the tie rod is bent a little bit, which a guy could definitely throw in a press and probably straighten out, honestly. But really cool to have. I think that says 560 on it. So you can kind of wonder if this thing sort of pieced together. And like that's bent and flanged like it's the original piece of sheet metal. This is too. So I don't know, because it's flanged on the back side. So this thing could have been in a salvage yard in pieces, and they put it together, which, I mean, is what it is. It's a rare enough tractor. It's probably worth doing that. If you walk over towards the serial number side, and they're really hard to read on these things because the steering lines are right in the way. But I think it says the serial number is 4727 and has a C on it down in there. And the C generally means LP on these tractors, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. If it's a C-C, it means it's got a heavy third gear for tillage, which I think if you walk over and look at this one, I know my 660 at the farm says C-C on it. I can't even see this one. The one at the farm says C-C. That one says D right here at 660. So maybe it should say LP on the first row. I don't know. We might have to take this loose and see what's underneath it to see if we actually have a 660 LP. But I mean, I'd be shocked if somebody pieced that part of it together, because like everything here looks pretty much like it should and kind of matches on the bottom side here. Can't really see it. We'll have to look into that more later. But from this angle, yeah, no fuel tank up underneath there. Just there's the battery. No fuel tank. One remote on the back. I think you could get these with 2 remotes and maybe even a 3-point, but I've never seen it. I've seen 2 remotes, but usually it's just 1 in this era. And you turn this on the 60 series to go from single acting to double acting cylinders. I've been there before with a different 660 in mind. But that's kind of it on this guy, I think. We'll mess with it and see when we can make it run. Probably not today. Other things to do. The 660 diesel here. Again, do not know what year it is. Don't even know what the serial number is. Haven't looked into it that much. We're going to have to get a rag out and clean down in there. Might do that here in a second and look closer on both of them. But sheet metal on this thing all kind of matches. Looks like the red's probably been repainted once in its life. Front tires are kind of poor looking. I did, as it was sitting on the trailer, open the petcocks on the top of the fuel filter. And there's fuel there. Belt bully tractor, which is awesome. Don't see that a lot on 660s. I mean, this was the end of the era for belt pulley stuff on IH. I think you could get it on 06 series, but it was PTO mounted on the back. So would rather have this, especially if a guy could run like the sawmill at the tractor show or something like that. Motor wise here, nothing too wild. Injector pump, I haven't really messed with it, but I assume everything's pretty free on it. I did notice the fan tensioner is broken right there where it goes on the front of the motor. So that sucks. I'll have to figure that out. I probably can rob that off. I noticed this one's got the same style tensioner on it. So maybe I have a 460 here that didn't sell on auction time last week that I can rob it off of before it goes to scrap. Because that's what I'm doing with it. Exhaust manifold all looks good. I put a muffler on it. It was with it. Sheet metal all looks pretty good. It's interesting that the voltage regulator is right there on this tractor, and it's up under the dash on an LP. I don't know what my other one looks like, just random things you notice. Tires are probably grain cart tires originally that found their way to a tractor, which is where you find a lot of 23 126s. Firestone all tractions, 10 ply, look good. I mean, they got some stubble wear, stuff like that, but for what this is, great. Rims look good, no fluid, which is amazing. Fender, pretty good. Back corner there's bent a little, not bad at all. Could be way worse, could be way more mangled. Drawbar here, a little loosey-goosey, like she did some pulling in its life, which is expected to say the least. Seats, pretty worn out, but at least the important parts are here. We have everything to put new cushions and stuff on this, actually. Wonderful. PTO tractor. Does have a TA. My other 660 diesel does not have a TA, so that's kind of cool to have here. What else are we looking at? Gear shift, nothing too wild there. Does have a glow plug meter over there. Fuel gauge is there. Reads like 8,064 hours, which is a lot, honestly, on a 660, in my opinion. That means this thing probably worked pretty hard in its life. Missing the dust shields on the front, unfortunately. Does have the sheet metal there. Unlike the other one, kind of wish I had the dust shields, but I can live without them. They go there and there on the front. No steering wheel cap. This fender's got a ding there, but no extra holes in it. Those are supposed to be there. Little ding on the back, no big deal. This tire kind of has some more stubble wear towards the outside, but that's okay. Again, no big deal. Don't mind the stubble wear at all. Power steering, TA, there's your starter. The generator's kind of hanging out here. Like they were getting ready to maybe fix that tensioner issue or something. Just nothing too crazy to report here on this thing. No weird steering thing going on. Yeah, both really nice straight tractors, and to have spent under $3,000 on the pair is probably a pretty good success, I would say, for both of them. Others could say different. I don't know. I think that's a pretty good deal overall. What the other ones that were painted up and stuff, about like $5-6 grand. And I don't like Rust-Oleum or, whatever, Valspar house paint, whatever, not my thing. But these look pretty good. But I think now I should probably go get a rag and try to clean off the serial numbers. We can dive into these a little bit more and figure out what year they are, because I don't remember. I do wish I had the freaking toolbox that went right there. It probably sold there, because I remember seeing one of the 60 series toolboxes, but I was trying to get my pickup unlocked about that time and got pretty sidetracked, to say the least. One other thing on this tractor I did notice, it's cracked right there on the fuel tank mount, like they were putting it back together once and got too long a bolt in there. Not a big deal. It's not gonna hurt anything. Just something random you notice. I mean, it's definitely got diesel in it, as wet as all this is. This one has a block heater too, which is nice. You know, optimism might start if we can get the motor to turn over 360. It might actually be a runner, and we could, you know, belt her up to something, or put it on my dyno, because it does have PTO on the back. Be fun. These 660s are just a horse. I mean, they really are. They turn a lot more RPM, like 600 more RPM, maybe 400 more RPM than like the 282 and a 560. They sing. I mean, my 706 pulling tractor that revs out to near 2700, she sings too. I got the serial number ties cleaned off a good bit, and this guy here, the 660 diesel, has D for diesel on here, 2970, which 2970 right there on the tag puts it out to be a 1959 model. So first model year, SY, S, and Y. I can't remember which is which, but one is TA, the other one's for an 11 gallon per minute hydraulic pump, which would make sense. This is a one remote tractor. Now we can jump over here to the engine serial number, and it says D282 15097. I mean, it basically just says this is a 282 motor. I don't know about the serial number sequence on these tractor, but kind of answers the questions of, you know, what year this thing is. It's a TA tractor, and has the 11 gallon per minute hydraulic pump. There's really nothing else to note there. Should maybe note what PTO it has on the serial number, because this one, when we get there, it does. But you just never know what they did on some of these things in the era, and it's really okay, because I mean, that's a live 540 hydraulic, or 540 PTO on the back. Coming over to the propane tractor here, 660L right there, which is interesting because it's got an L there, and I looked up the code and it doesn't mean anything. But over here, when it says C on the code, that means it is an LP tractor. And then it's got a Y, dash Y, right there. It says P dash Y. I know it's hard to see. P dash Y. P means 540 PTO, and Y is the 11 gallon per minute hydraulic pump. So don't know why it's got L there and a C over here, but we're not gonna worry about that too much. Now, I didn't clean off the spot on the block here on this tractor yet, because it should have a designation on the block as well for LP, like an L on the serial number, which usually it's right here on these girls. Maybe. All right, got that cleaned off a little bit better so you can see it. It says C263, which would be a 263 cubic inch C-Series motor. 81620C at the end designates this is an LP motor originally. So one would assume original motor to the tractor, which is great. Good things to know. Other than that, nothing else really interesting to report on either tractor, I don't think. For now, though, we're going to go do something else. I was looking here at making this one run, and might be able to explain why it isn't staying running or won't run. It's because the tank, you can't read it, but I think she's out of D or LP entirely. Let me get a rag here, see if we can clean that off some. You have to get a new gauge lens probably, because it's cracked and it's at zero essentially. It's either way too full or low. So I have to see about that. I ought to probably just get new valves for it too. Talk to Mike, he'll know what to do, I would assume. But problem for another day here. It does have spark, so if we can just get fuel to it, I bet this old girl just pops right off. And the diesel, to bar it over, kind of need to pop the clutch access cover off the bottom and see what we got going on there. If we can make it, get it to get a full 360 nicely, we've got hope. But probably think about pulling all the injectors off and lines and everything if we start running into problems, and soak it some, see if we can figure out what the issue is. But I think that's going to be it here. Again, thanks to the Walls for having the auction. Let me pick up a few good items. Hopefully they think they got along okay. Things I thought sold well. Pleased with my tractors. Pretty easy for me to winch them on and get them home. There'll be more here, I hope, soon. But with that, guys, don't forget about the Sunflower Pioneer Power Association Tractor Show. On the 24th of April, we will have a tractor drive or poker run in the evening starting at 5:30 with a meal to follow. Saturday will be the full show on the 25th with everything going on. Tractor pull at 4 o'clock that afternoon, I think. We'll have demonstrations running throughout the day. Your typical threshing show stuff. Sunday, we'll have a church service in the morning and then a few demonstrations again with loadout that day. But that's going to be it. You guys can join the Hams Beer Fund, help fund projects, diesel, hams, things like that. And, you know, I'm on all the social medias as @TeamOnTIH. You guys have a good one. Take care. Go drag something out of the weeds and get it running.